What is the wreck where there is some video evidence that NASCAR's hiding?
Okay, so in 2000...
We're going to get in trouble with Big Brother here.
No, we're not going to get in trouble. At 2000, I'm not going to get in trouble. I don't do anything anymore. At 2000, I wrecked at Michigan in practice.
Yeah.
In happy hour. In the Wood Brothers Sitco car down the front straight.
How did that happen?
Somebody had broke a piece. They say a piece of exhaust pipe fell off. Mm-hmm. I'm going down the front straightaway, and all I heard was a boom. But it blew the right rear tire. And when it blew the right rear tire, the right rear quarter panel blew straight out like this. So it made it like a wing of an airplane. So when I went this way, it went straight up. And I was actually higher than the catch fence in Michigan. And that one hurt.
You flipped and flipped and flipped.
I flipped and flipped and flipped and flipped.
All the way down.
All the way down the front stretch and landed into in the grass. And Kyle Petty was the first one to me.
What'd he say?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I just remember him being there because this is after Adam and all. Mm-hmm. So, and I just remember Kyle Petty being there. The next morning, I walk into the garage and NASCAR.
Wait a minute. Did you remember getting out of the car?
No.
No.
I'm going to tell you what's really going to happen. I'm going to tell you the whole story right here.
All right.
So the next morning, it's race morning. That was happy.
Are you going to race?
That's what I'm going to tell you.
Damn.
Get to it. NASCAR calls me to the trailer, and we go in there, and they have a video of my wreck, and they show it to me, and they say, that'll be the last time you ever see that video. They said, because you're higher than the catch fence, and we don't want to really just show that to everybody. Everybody don't need to see that.
How much higher?
The whole car length.
Yeah.
I mean, I was nose down, and I was higher than the whole catch fence. That's how high I was. So we're getting ready for the race. And
Are you hurt?
I have a headache.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I got a bad headache. And a guy comes in, and they say, Elliot, we need to do a concussion test. I said, okay. We're up in the hauler with the Wood Brothers, and Eddie and Lynn are up there. And, we don't know if we need to have somebody on standby or what. I'm good. I got a little headache. I'll be fine. So we do the concussion test where you do your hands and arms and all that. Well, I fall out.
You fell over.
I fell over. And I'm like, what was that? Like, dude, you got a concussion. And I'm like, I'll be all right. Once I get in the car, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting down. I said, I tell you what, let's do the concussion test again.
Sitting down?
No, I was still standing up. I said, hey, let's do the concussion test again. All right. So I'm thinking I can do it this time because I remember how we did it. Mm-hmm. Well, he does it a different way. He screwed me. He does it a different way. Well, I fall out again. And they're like, well, what do you want to do? We got Morgan Shepherd on standby. Well, you knew back in the day, you don't want anybody else to get in your race car, right? You want to stay in your race car. So I drove that race, the whole race in 2000, and I ran dead last, and I don't hardly remember much of that race at all.
Yeah.
It was a bad concussion. And I tell you how bad the concussion was. The Wednesday after the race, I'm at home eating lunch with my mom in a booth. You sit in the booth at a restaurant booth. I lean back like this to stretch, and I fall out.
Fell over.
That was on Wednesday.
Yeah, still didn't have your balance.
Still didn't have my balance or anything. So that's how bad the concussion stuff was from that. And we didn't know as much about it then, of course, as we do now.
And here is the man that yesterday nearly lost his life on this track, signing autographs and smiling just moments before. You're riding with him now, ready to ride and wreck at 190 miles per hour. Tire blows. Over once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Camera goes out. He rolls another 6 times. We pick him up here as he concludes these barrel rolls in turn number 1. And when he came out of the infield hospital a half hour later, Dick Berggren was there.
Elliot, you okay? Yeah, I guess that's the main thing. A bigger tribute to NASCAR. These guys make sure we build safe race cars, and they're heavy duty. And I blew a right rear. I heard it when it blew going down into turn 1, and I said, man, this is going to hurt. Hit the wall, and I opened my eyes back up, and all I saw was asphalt. I said, man, this is really going to hurt. So I'm just lucky that it's okay. We flipped a few times, and I stayed awake the whole time and looked at it, and just a tribute to NASCAR and the Wood Brothers team for building such a great race car. And I'd like to thank Cal Petty, man. He stopped, made sure my ignition and everything was cut off, and took time to do that. And that's great to have friends like that in racing. And Dale Jr. came and checked on me as soon as I got here, so it's that's pretty neat the way NASCAR family works. But just glad to be okay. Just a little bruised up leg, shin, a little blooded up a little bit, but and a little cut tongue. Other than that, I'm okay.
How many times you take it over?
I don't know. I lost count after about 6 or 7. Then I just started closing and hoping it wasn't going to hurt. But it just kind of slid on its front end. It felt like until I got down to the apron. Then I think it dug in and it started spinning again. So I think CBS had an in-car camera now. I don't know how much I owe y'all for damaging that camera, but maybe it got some good footage. But just glad to be okay. I want to tell my family at home I'm fine, and I'll be calling you here shortly.
What was it like inside that car?
That's pretty scary. That's the first time I've ever gone upside down. So it was pretty scary to open your eyes and all you see is asphalt. And you're like, whoa, that's not right. And then the hit and skiing. And I opened my eyes, I was opening one eye at a time and just very lucky. I never knew a man could do so much praying at such a short time. But the great man upstairs was definitely riding with me today. And so we'll live to fight another day.
We're glad you're okay.
Thank you.
Sadler came out better than portions of this track in turn 1. 11 areas, as you see it here, including this mark, had to be cut out and patched through the night. Here you see some of the work that was done. The wall, he was all the way up on the top of the wall at one time in that crash. They brought in the hot mix from Romulus 65 miles away, and at 11 o'clock last night, they were finished heating that asphalt, trying to cure it, then pouring water over it through the night to make it as race ready as possible. And there you see the area where Elliott Sadler had that hellacious crash yesterday afternoon around 5 o'clock. No state in the United States takes more pride in their stock car drivers than the state of Virginia. In the early days, it was Curtis Turner and Joe Weatherly, and then it was Lenny Pond and Ricky Rudd. These days, the Burton brothers and the Sadler brothers. And probably one of the proudest moments for the Old Dominion state was when the most respected racing team in stock car racing, the Wood brothers, took one of their own, a Virginian, to drive for them, Elliott Sadler. Elliot's with me now, and I'm sure you've heard the story since yesterday of one of the most dramatic incidents of the 2000 season to date. In turn 1, yesterday afternoon, half hour left in the final practice. You're riding with Elliott Sadler. There's the tire blowing. There's the first time over, second, third. How many times did you go over, Elliot?
I think we ended up 12 times before it was all said and done. It's definitely the scariest time of my life, but I tell you what, the Wood brothers built me a great race car as far as being safe. NASCAR did a great job on the specs, and I'm just happy to be here with you fine people today.
Well, we're awfully glad to have you with us, and seeing you before the race began today out here signing autographs and smiling, and that was such a vicious, nasty sidewinder.
It was. It's never been on my roof before, and the scariest thing, it spooks you pretty bad. It's just really silent. When you go up in the air, seems like you can hear a pin fall, and just kept on rolling and bouncing over and over, and just pretty scary sight, but I was conscious the whole time. I remember every bump and bruise and every spark that flew, and the most special moment is it seemed like I had just finished flipping and Kyle Petty was there to help me get out of my car. He must have stopped while I was rolling and ran down to me and helped me get out of my car and kept me calm and just made sure I was okay. And that's really special to me that NASCAR families can stick that way together even in the trying times.
I watched Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Ward Burton rushing over to the infield care center here to check on your condition, and then they let him in, and therefore we thought that things might be okay.
Yeah, they let those guys in, and I said hello to Ward, and Dale Jr. and I have always been great friends, and he came in and picked at me a little bit about how high I got, that maybe I didn't get as high as he did at Daytona a couple years ago, but it's great to have great friends like that in racing, and I'm just glad that we were able to get a backup car here today and do the best we can for Sitco, and the car's been running good here at the end. I'll be glad to get back in this race car and run the last 50 laps.
The Spirit of America, Elliott Sadler, car number 21 for the Wood brothers.